Bushcraft 101, page 126. Page 127, part 2, In the Bush. Page 128, page 129. Chapter 7, Setting Up Camp. Shelter provides a microenvironment that supplements inadequate clothing or allows you to shed cumbersome layers, especially when you want to stop moving or when you want to sleep in cold weather. Shelter also enhances the effect of a warming fire. Morris Chonsky, 1987. One of the most important decisions you can make while tramping is where you choose to establish your camp. Much of this decision is based on a simple set of rules, the 4 W's. But some other things to consider are: how long do you intend to stay? Are you only stopping for a quick lunch and a break? Are you staying only one night, then moving on? Or do you intend to make a base camp from which to work for several days? End of page. Page 130. Any camp you choose as a base camp for an extended period will need to be thought out more carefully because of the eventual depletion of close resources. The 4 W's. The 4 W's are a very easy yet important checklist of concerns to follow when choosing a proper camp location. They are: number 1, wood. Number 2, water. Number 3, wind. And number 4, Widowmakers. Wood and water. The first W stands for wood. Be sure to ask yourself the following questions each time you stop to camp. Do I have a close source for the wood I need to accomplish any tasks I plan for this camp setting? Is there firewood to last the time I will be here? Is there enough deadfall, or will I need to cut wood, depending on what tools you have with you? This can be significant. Are there construction materials close by that I can use to build shelter framing, cooking gear, or any other crafting I have planned? Is the wood that is available to me the proper species for either a warming fire or a cooking fire? Generally, to build a quick warming fire as well as for initial fire lays, you want softer species of wood such as willow, poplar, pines, or cedars. If you are planning to cook and need a lasting coal bed, with the resins and oils prevalent in some of these, page 131, woods. You will want hardwood species such as ash, walnut, oak, and hickory. The second W stands for water. As with wood, there are important questions to answer before you set up camp. Is there a water source within short distance of camp that will be convenient for easy collection? Is the water source a flowing source or a standing source? A standing source will evaporate in summer and poses the threat of stagnation as well. Any ground source water will need to be boiled at a minimum, but both filtering and boiling is preferred when possible. Is the water source large enough to hold food fish? Is the water attractive to other animals that will use it, such as frogs, crayfish, turtles, and the like? Is the source large enough to attract mammals to use it as a daily source of water? These questions can help when you're making decisions about where to set up a base camp. Wind and Widowmakers. The third W is wind. Wherever you choose to camp, wind is a concern both for the threat of fires running out of control and for the ability to combat or take advantage of convective breezes. You also want to consider wind when pitching or flying a tarp, as the wind can blow smoke from your fire into your face or shelter through the night, which becomes a huge nuisance impeding your enjoyment of the camp. The elevation of your camp will affect the amount of wind to which you're exposed. Camping on a ridge will make you more susceptible to wind, but camping in low areas makes you more prone to cold temperatures. Remember that warm air rises and colder air sinks. For this reason, you should choose middle high ground if feasible. End of page. Page 132. The fourth W stands for Widowmakers. These are standing dead trees that may easily fall or break if subjected to wind. They could cause serious safety issues if they are close enough to fall into your camp area or the area into which you will frequently travel to get wood or water. Camp hygiene. Once you have chosen a camp location, you will need to think about hygiene needs in the form of waste disposal if you are camping for longer than one night. Urine as well as defecation should be kept far away from water sources. Both need to be kept away from camp so as not to invite bacteria and critters. Urine is a simple issue. You can just walk 20 steps or so in the opposite direction of camp and the water source and do the business straight on the ground or against a tree. Doing the other business, however, can require a bit more work if the stay will be longer term. If you are only there for a short period, you can simply dig a hole about 8 to 10 inches deep when the need arises and fill in the hole when finished, allowing everything to decompose naturally. If you are staying longer, a small elongated trench may be in order. Dig this trench a bit deeper. With each visit, cover the deposit with subsequent visits. You will need to move the trench a bit at a time. Any group, including more than one person camping for a few days, will require a more elaborate system, such as several trenches in different areas. Personal hygiene. For personal daily hygiene, I usually use the bandana in my pack combined with ashes from the fire to create a quick solution that is antibacterial in nature when a bit of hot water is added. To make this solution, add white ash from hardwoods to water in a ratio of 3 parts water to 1 part ash. I have washed my, page 133, clothing in this same solution, and it will do a pretty good job when you're out of soap. This will do for washing if needed, but simple fire smoke is antibacterial in nature for the very short term. Standing over the fire and opening your clothing to let smoke in will kill many odors from perspiration. Clean teeth. I generally carry a toothbrush because, in my experience, it is far superior to any plant material or chewed stick for the job. Plus, the thought of a splinter in the gums is enough to make the toothbrush more than worth the wait. When brushing teeth in the short term, warm water will do a fine enough job. If grit is needed, mix ashes with water for this as well. Clean and dry feet. One of the most neglected yet important matters that you must address daily is your feet. If you cannot walk, you cannot tramp. Many things affect your feet, and they need special attention so that you can maintain comfort while tramping. Boots for tramping should be well broken in, of course, and fit the needs of the environment in which you are operating. Summer boots should breathe well, and winter boots should be well insulated. Beyond this, pay attention to the socks on your feet and always carry changes with you. Wet feet, no matter what the climate, are never comfortable for long. Socks should be changed often when hiking. Expect to go through at least 3 pairs per day on longer tracks. If you must sleep in socks, never sleep in the ones you wore all day. I do not recommend sleeping in socks in any case, unless you carry a special loose-fitting pair. Tight socks will restrict circulation and result in cold feet at night, even in a good bag. Feet should be well dried in the air or by the fire every night before turning in, and a bit of smoke bath won't hurt either if you cannot wash them. End of page.